Next are the action items. Action item number 1 is the automated traffic enforcement.
Okay, before I take a motion on this, I'd like to just make a few brief comments. I'd like to share some thoughts based on many conversations and meetings with citizens and business leaders, along with some observations. Clearly, it's an understatement to say that automated traffic enforcement, or ATE, is a passionate topic for those who are opposed. And let's be clear, I do support any citizen's right to oppose or endorse an issue, particularly through peaceful means. From my perspective, since the mid-90s, and since I have sat at this table, even when elected officials offered differing opinions or votes, we were respectful to one another, to city staff, and to people in the chambers. I believe that golden rule of behavior has allowed us to build confidence and establish strong partnerships with citizens and community leaders, which continue to serve as the foundation for our community's progress. Today, we have a controversial issue before us that has still not been completely vetted. To date, at least publicly, it appears that disinformation and lack of attention to the published facts of what an ATE system in Dubuque could look like have been driving the dissension. I do think that as a city, we could do a better job of communicating about this issue to our citizens. We received various recommendations from the Safe Community Advisory Commission for a number of measures that could improve safety in our community, including on the roads. The city also has a draft document, emphasis on draft, a document merely on the City of Dubuque's specific criteria, a document merely included as a starting point for the vetting, discussion, and input process toward preparing a contract. It is nowhere close to being called an agreement, and important to process. If we cannot reach agreement on a contract based on the City of Dubuque's specific criteria, we may instead need to go back to traditional traffic enforcement where that's possible. As I said, I believe it's important to have information sessions that provide the general populace an opportunity to get factual information about how a system specific to Dubuque could work. Perhaps this could take place in venues like neighborhood association meetings, local civic organizations, college campuses, and the like. I'll close with this thought. Achieving and promoting a welcoming, safe, and vibrant Dubuque community is what your elected officials and community partners have been working really hard at for a long time. And important in our community's ability to continue its progress and to retain and attract businesses is the basic tenet of civility. In successful communities, civility remains the cornerstone to building trust and relationships. It's about courtesy, respect, and consideration. Over the past 2 decades, Dubuque has been successful, even in stressful times, because of the way we come together for the good of the community. No matter what the issue is, we need to keep civility at the forefront and keep working together to continue building bridges, not walls.
Mr. Mayor.
Sprague.
Thank you. I agree with everything that you just said. This red light camera issue has certainly been a time-consuming issue for the staff and for us, and it's often been contentious. I do believe red light cameras save lives, but it's apparent to me that we need to do a better job of educating the citizens and working out contract language. We're nowhere near ready to make this decision. Therefore, I move that we table this motion indefinitely.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Sprague, seconded by Mr. Jones to table. It's non-debatable. Kevin, would you call the roll, please?
Could I ask a question, Mr. Mayor?
Non-debatable.
Could I ask a question?
Non-debatable. No discussion. Is that correct, Barry?
Right. Oh, I
Kevin,
guess
would you call the roll, please?
Buell.
Aye.
Connors.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Lynch.
Aye.
Resnick.
Aye.
Sutton.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item is tabled indefinitely.
Mr. Mayor, could I ask a question?
Can you ask a question on the table item?
Up to the chair.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Resnick.
Thank you very much. I just wondered what table indefinitely means. I just need a definition of terms. So it could come back at any time or not come back, or what does that mean? It's just totally up in the air?
Well, it's not tabled to a date certain. It means
Right.
that somebody on the council would have to ask that it be put back on the agenda. which any of you could do.
I see, at any time,
Yes.
when it's ready.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can I make a comment, please? Throughout this whole process, we've been hearing about the Safe Community Task Force. I was on the Safe Community Task Force, and I pulled my final records of the recommendations that went to the council. We did ask for safety measures and to look at what was already imposed, but I did not find anything in my material that said red light cameras. So I just really want to make a point of clarification to that.
Mr. Mayor.
We're not going to have any more discussion.
I
I probably shouldn't have allowed that comment. Kevin, next item, please.